Crunch. Good morning, everyone.
Is it time already? Already?
For crunching?
For crunching?
It is time for crunching.
I don't think you have anything to crunch this morning.
I mean, neither do you.
There's crunch inside this. See, look at that. The granola pieces or something.
There is crunch. There is crunch in there. Yeah, Mal and I are eating basically the same thing. Is that right?
I wonder what's healthier. I mean, I know this is not the best yogurt choice for the morning, as it's key lime pie crumble, but
You've got yogurt, I've got yogurt. Yogurt. Listen, I wanted this today. And you know what? I'm an adult, and I can make my own bad decisions.
like the bad decision we made at like 12:30 last night of
We?
You didn't have to eat any of the cookies I made at 12:30 last night.
Okay, first off, yes I did. Can you imagine baking someone cookies from scratch? They're beautiful and they
fresh out of the oven.
Fresh out of the oven. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine doing that for someone and then the person being like, "Oh, I love cookies. I refuse to eat these." Of course not.
Brandon says you baked them in secret and made the patrons swear not to tell.
Coffee.
Yeah, I was on Discord posting pictures.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. Of course I ate the cookies. Also, I'm human. I love cookies. I love chocolate chip cookies are like one of my favorite things.
And those turned out so good.
I don't
think
really
I've ever had cookies turn out that good.
It's true. They were picturesque.
Yeah.
They're beautiful cookies. Anyway, this is just yet another in a string of bad decisions.
How do you like using the little spoon? Doesn't it make you feel dainty?
It makes me feel much bigger than I already am.
I love these little tiny IKEA teaspoons.
This has been a point of contention in our home for a long time. Mallory bought these little tiny spoons. At IKEA?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that this was like a nickel.
They're dragon. That's their name.
Okay. And I've always made fun of her for using them. Because I'm like, just use a normal spoon. She's like,
but
no.
I love them.
She's like, I love them.
They're
and I'm like,
perfect
okay.
for coffee because, like, look at this.
So,
they fit perfectly.
So this morning, I'm using one because one of the things I noticed is that with the normal size spoons, when you finish the pudding cup, it knocks the pudding cup over. And I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen. So now I'm using a tiny spoon. And the thing is, like, you know, we are different sizes. Hold your hand up. That's the opposite hand, but okay. Like, you know, I got, like, large hands.
Yeah.
So what is already a very tiny spoon has become even smaller. It's this little tiny baby spoon.
Now the problem is these go down the garbage disposal real easy. This one's a little beat up, and I should probably start tossing it because it just has a little bit of a rough spot.
There are many
on the
spoons
handle
that have a bunch of nicks in the head of the spoon, so whenever you're eating, it cuts your mouth open. It's wonderful. Anyway, I have the opposite problem that Becca pointed out. My spoon is too small.
Anyway, I love them, and I'm probably, when we someday go to IKEA next, gonna get another set.
Why would we need more?
Because I've thrown away like 3 because they get too beat up and then they get rusty.
Just be more careful.
You have put them in too.
That, I don't think we can verify that as fact.
I can, because...
I don't think we can.
No. Do you remember the other day when I was like, hey, Steven, and because you were taking my my teacup into the kitchen, I was like, Stephen, make sure you put it on the right side because it'll go down the garbage disposal. Not 10 minutes later when I got up, the spoon was on the left side where the garbage disposal was.
But was it in a cup?
It was.
There you go. The cup protects it.
Until you dump out the cup.
Don't dump out the cup. Don't dump out the cup.
You do that when you do the dishwasher. You're like, dump and then dishwasher. And then it's in the sink and then it goes down the drain.
You might be correct.
I am. I know I am.
I'm not, like, I can't verify 100% that what I did was correct. I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what? You're right.
Okay.
I will be more careful. I mean, I might not be, but I will say it.
Don't worry, I'll get some more spoons.
Okay. Problem solved. Spend a few more nickels at the IKEA and get more spoons. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. I left half of this. I said this wasn't to the rim today. I was real upset. Like I opened it up, and when I brought it upstairs, man, I was like, "Did you already take a big bite out of it?" And I was like, "No, that's the way it was. There was just a big." I felt like Massey whenever she was served chicken strips. Deep cut. All right, let's read some alerts here. That seems like a good plan. We got 8-month reset from Leafly. It says, the one time I'm up for breakfast and I have an appointment right at the start. Hopefully I'll be able to catch you again before the end, or otherwise I'll catch the VOD. Have a good day. Thank you, Leafly, and good luck with your appointment. Appointment is vague, so I don't know if I should say good luck or this will be great or, you know, finally going to get that fixed. So I just hope you have a good day regardless. 300 bits from Nixelpad who says, I might not currently have a job, but I do currently have income from financial aid, which is the only good thing about doing college online over the summer. However, if all goes well, then I'll be on track to graduate in August.
I hope so.
Nice. Getting done with schooling.
That last little bit is like the worst. It's like, just be over.
Agreed. Although, also, my last year of college was the easiest year of college. How was yours? Because seriously, the last year of college for me was the easiest year, and I had never taken electives.
Mm-hmm. So you took all electives.
I had very. Like, it's not that it was like, it was not necessarily, like, planned for me. It's not like I was like, oh, I'm not going to take electives, and then in the final year, I'll take all my electives. I didn't think about it. You know, it's just like, that's the way it happened. I just didn't think about electives, and then finally, in the final year, I was like, oh, I'm, like, nothing but electives. So I was like, I'm going to do all the weird things to it now.
I had a very different experience, because I took some electives like my first 2 years, and when I transferred, they were like, none of these count for your major, so we'll just call them electives. So that happened, but I mean, by the time you're taking drawing 3 in college and like graphic design 3 and stuff, like the professors don't care. They're like, hey, this is your assignment, we'll see you in 3 weeks.
I mean, that's true.
So like, the hardest thing was probably in my senior year. Well, I took another year because of transferring and things getting messed up. I took logic, and it was a class I had, and it was mostly full of like other majors who needed a math class. And you know, in Wisconsin, drinking was a big thing, and on Thursday people would go to the bars like crazy, and we had a Friday 8 a.m. class for logic. Mm-hmm. And like, no one was there mentally except me. Every week. So I got through it all right, but I mean, my final semester was student teaching. And I know that can be rough in some placements, but I had a really, really great placement, and I really loved my student teaching experience. So
yeah, you had a harder final year than me. by a lot. Also, I saw a few people actually asking about the flour. I'm having tea this morning.
Oh, that flour.
I elected to
I'm
have...
like, the flour in the cookies?
I don't know the pronunciation of the tea. Ruibos? Ruibos.
I thought it was Roy.
Isn't it 2 O's? Isn't it
I know, but I still thought it was Roy.
Rooibos? I think it's Ruibos. I don't know. Someone knows. But it'll be in text, so it'll still be hard to figure out. I thought it was R-O-O, but maybe it's R-O-I. Is it Roy? Rooibos. Rooibos. Anyway, Roy's our boy, and Roy's in my cup. And I've got a T-ball. And the T-ball looks like the little Pikmin. Which is appropriate for me. Drowning a Pikmin. It's nice.
Someone said that.
Roy's our boss!
Someone said something about how drinking is like a college thing, but like, you don't understand unless you've lived in Wisconsin. Like, growing up, every town had its own brewery.
It's, well,
like,
what you're trying to say is that drinking is a part of the culture.
Yes.
More, it is a cultural thing.
Not just college, but like, your entire life in Wisconsin. Like, it's a cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in college, I don't know if it's more than other colleges, but I mean, because Wisconsin is so into beer especially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was
something that shocked you a little bit, I think.
That was a little bit of it, because the people are so into alcohol. And, you know, in my family, like, I don't drink. My mom doesn't drink. My dad doesn't drink. So I've literally grown up in a home where, you know, I had friends that would drink, and like I would go out with them and they would have something, but I never did. But like I grew up in a home that like no one drank. I never saw people drinking. So then to go to Wisconsin where it's so ingrained in the culture is, you know, it's a very weird experience. Coffee. So. Okay, yep, I saw something.
Yep,
there it is. There it is. Sing about slurping your Roy T-ball. Let me tell you something, I guess I will say, I always really love to hit the hay, but when I wake up and I'm feeling a little small, I put some Roy inside of a ball. Actually, that doesn't make sense because this doesn't have caffeine. But it's the thought that counts. There's no caffeine in this. It would not help you wake up. T out of the 10. T out of the 10. I mean, actually, to be honest, it doesn't have to have like, for me, just having a nice little hot drink is going to wake you up a little bit. That's what I say. Steven is drinking tea, Brewster for Smash confirmed. That's exactly how that works. My uncle works for Nintendo. Coffee. Danny, X6 with the 5,000 bits, sing about slurping your Roy T-ball. Hashtag family friendly. Danny always trying to catch me up. Trip me up. Catch me up. Danny's always trying to catch me up with things. Thank you, Danny. Scroll all the way back up.
All the way to the top.
All the way. Let me keep reading. 300 bits from Nixelpatter says, also, yesterday I played some games with friends on a Discord server I'm part of. And we played the online version of Joking Hazard, and we also played Broken Picture Phone. That second one, I know the guy that made that. I do.
Jules says that he's drinking.
Yes, I see it. Steven, I'm having 2 times the caffeine that I should right now, so I'm drinking enough for both of us. That's fine.
We were talking about espresso a little bit in Discord last night, and I wish I could get espresso made from Jeff.
You have to have a Jeff first.
Jeff is so far away.
It's true. It's true. I think truly, if you ask Jeff, like, really nicely, I think Jeff would drive down here to make you some coffee.
We don't have anything to make it.
I think he would bring his own machine. I think if you were very, very like adamant about it, like Jeff, listen.
Please don't Chaz us.
It's because Chaz knows Jeff would do it. If you were real serious about it, Jeff would drive down here and make it. So, be careful. Be careful. Interesting. Jules said, did you know the Starbucks Venti Blonde roast is their most caffeinated drink, even more than the Nitro Cold Brew? I don't know much about Starbucks. Or coffee. Really. Being honest. But, as a result, like, whenever we would go to Starbucks, I was either the guy that was like, normal? Or, when they introduced the cold brew, I would get the cold brew.
Cold brew is good.
It's true. I don't know coffee. I know how to drink it. I'm extremely good at drinking it. But, oh god. Instead of forced love, let's have forced coffee.
Here, bud.
Sometimes you get into your car and go into town. You ask someone for a good thing that's brown. You say, put it in my cup. I don't care if it stinks. I need me one of them good coffee drinks. And then they look at you strangely, especially if you do the arm motions. Listen. You guys know what you sign up for on breakfast stream songs. I've just gotten out of the bed. My brain is barely alive. Quick, a distraction. Patreon.com says Stephen George, where Mal makes.
Well, I was pointing out
We
that you don't
appreciate
even
it.
have caffeine this morning.
Oh, I thought you were pointing at that, and I was like, that's right, there are a lot of beans. That was 5,000 bits from Nixelpad, who says, instead of forced love, let's have forced coffee. I used one of those words. It wasn't forced. I don't know. Everyone, you know, always gives me grades on the songs, but the truth is, a lot of times I give myself internal grades. Because if I came up with all 4 rhymes before the song began, I feel pretty proud, because that's hard. And like on that song, like, I managed to get all 4 rhymes before I started. And there's always a chance that I can, like, just come up with 2 and then wing it on the other 2. But the problem is, I'm at a much higher risk of potentially obliterating the song if that happens. So, yeah. Anyway, Nixelpad, thank you for the bits. Little Nixel bits.
You switched the bits with pad.
Nixel bits, thank you for the pads. Again, it's the morning! It's the morning!
Jules says breakfast stream segment next Coliseum, please.
I mean,
that would be a good one to start the day with.
I mean, I would totally host like a normal thing. Because like with how we do Coliseum, a normal breakfast stream would never fall on Coliseum. Stephen Amell and no one else. If it was the first day, Chaz, other people would be awake. But otherwise, yeah, it would just be us. Everyone else would be asleep. I would be totally cool with it. Especially if it was just, we're chatting, but it's like, hey, donate to Direct Relief. That'd be really neat. It's easy to wake up before noon when you go to bed at 1 p.m. That's something you probably shouldn't repeat, because it does read like a cry for help. So, just keep that in mind. 6-month resub from Chill Days. He says, hey, double plus time. Thank you guys, as always, for bringing positivity into people's lives. I can't speak for anyone else, but man, I'm looking forward to every stream, even more so when the world is such a bleak place. Well, we're happy to provide it. And, you know, I've said it before, but as a reminder, the normalcy that people experience watching the stream is a shared normalcy that we get for producing the streams. It's nice to look forward to, on Monday night when I go to sleep, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna wake up, in the morning and do this thing, and it's nice. So, Mr. Game Boy, noted. I don't know if we would. I don't know if we would have like song alerts for a breakfast stream thing on Coliseum, because already people are asking for a. It's not a cry for help, because people are already asking for a Coliseum segment that is, about like improvisational music, which, you know, I think would simultaneously be very fun and also like horrifies me. I'm like, I don't know how I could do that for an hour. But, you know, there'd be other people there to take over the responsibilities.
Carlos said that he'd definitely be up for breakfast stream. He was always up last year.
Yeah, oh no, like of everyone.
Him, Sab was up every morning early.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, of everyone.
Responsible.
Ooh. Of everyone, the most responsible people
You
I can
weren't
think of
always
in the
up.
TRG. Mallory, that is different. That is it. Jules is offended. Also, listen.
Jules would get up and make coffee and then leave the room, and I'd be like, but this coffee you made.
Listen. I slept through the entire first day of Coliseum 2019.
I know you did.
And I did that because...
You slept like 24 hours straight.
Yes, but do you
I
know
was
why?
concerned, because you were up making the
Because
intro.
I was making Coliseum! I was making all those videos! I worked myself to death so the people would have the bumpers. I gotta tell you, that's one of the things I learned from Coliseum 2020. It was like, oh, everyone else can just make these. This will help. Train you to sing by making you sing for a straight hour. It's Friday. Oh God. I think I would step in and be like, and we're pausing alerts. We're not letting any more songs going through. And I was sick leading up to it too. 2019 was rough.
Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, that was a hard event.
It was fun though. Like,
it was fun.
Because I do a mood tracker every day. At the end of the day, I'm like, how was my mood today? And like, I put in like, oh, it was great, or nah.
You've been doing that for a long time, right?
Year and a half.
Year and a half.
As of June 1st.
Yep.
Wait, that's end of June. Jules says, what do you use? I use Dailyo. But yeah, I was comparing last year and this year, and it... last year had a lot of green. Because I switched mine to, basically traffic lights. So, like, there's, like, a dark green for really good and a green for, like, good. And then yellow is meh. And then there's, like, bad and then, like, really bad. So, like, the really bad is red. So it's like a traffic light. That's the one I picked.
Also, I know that we've talked about this sort of thing before, but, like, it's something that a lot of people should consider. Is a mood tracking.
Yeah, and
app.
I mean, when I was doing it in 2019, some of my thoughts, like, at the end of the year was, like, I was happier than I felt like I was. Like, looking back on my moods, I was like, oh, things weren't so dire.
Yeah.
And this year, I'm like, oh, things are... You can definitely see where Sagan died. Yeah. And
Sam Stargazer,
you can see where Japan was last year.
Asked, is there a benefit to tracking your mood? So one of the and I don't do it. Mal does it.
Yeah.
But you know, from talking to her and seeing her stuff, one of the things that I think is really cool is that whenever you fill it, the trends is exactly what I was going to say from Jules. Like one of the cool things is that whenever you fill out a day, you apply tags for what happened that day. So you can say, oh, I spent time with friends, or I had a really good meal, or whatever. So then after you've got enough data in there, you can look at it and say, why am I happiest? Like, what is it that
tell
makes
you, and
me
they'll say,
happy?
Like, your activity count, and you can say often together and pick a mood. Like,
so, like, for instance, I was going to say in 2019, almost consistently your Thursdays were great. And it was because of Lunch Bunch.
Yeah.
That was the
It'll show
thing.
you the week. Like, if you go to the monthly, or if you go into like the yearly view, it'll say like, oh, here's the days of the week. You know, on Mondays you averaged like light green, and on Thursdays you averaged dark green. And I was like, oh, that was lunch bunch days.
Yep. And yeah, Mal uses Dailyo, but there's other ones.
Yeah.
There's other ones. So.
Looks to me says, IDK if this was an ad, but it got me to download it. It's not an ad. I'm not paid. I paid for it myself. There's a free version. I ended up paying for it because I liked it and wanted to support them.
We're really great at advertising things for free. Why would a company ever hire us? They'd be like, do you like our product? We're like, yeah. They'd be like, well, then just talk about it. We're like, oh, okay.
Chaz.
Breakfast stream is sponsored by Tide. Tide, start your breakfast right. Oh. 100 bits from Riderbrook Ninja. Thank you, Ninja. 500 bits from Mr. Game Boy 18 says, so recently I just I started looking at houses just to get familiar. I don't plan on buying one until minimally next year. I'm trying to find a house that I have lived in so far, bungalow or ranch, which led me to this question. You just received your perfect dream house. Describe it to us. How many rooms, baths, how big, style of house, etc. I feel like me and you could possibly have the same answer here.
Yeah. And we send real estate listings to each other on Discord. Well, Steven and Friends does every Saturday.
It's true. We've actually joked that we should really start
just filming us
I'm
ripping apart real estate listings.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's like some licensing issues there,
yeah.
which is one of the reasons we haven't done it, because, you know, you can't just show all of the real estate
Did you see
photos.
the one I posted yesterday?
But if we could get permission to do it, oh my god, we'd make a show out of it. Because we just do it.
There was one time I found a house where someone had taken taxidermy deer heads and tucked them into the bed like they were people. And then that was the photo of the bedroom.
And, like, you know, every other photo is like, well, it's not every other photo is normal. The person that would do that is clearly eccentric, and their house is eccentrically decorated.
There was one where someone was a ventriloquist and a, what's the word that I want?
Also, you know that whatever you're going to say next is going to be great.
The
person was a ventriloquist, and everyone
goes... They were
a
beauty pageant contestant.
That's right.
And there were photos everywhere of them with their crown and their ventriloquist dummy. And, like, they were all over the house.
What a strange combination. Like, to have existed in a very specific moment in time. Like, your entire life revolved around, like, these 3 or 4 years that you were doing beauty pageants. But also, you were a ventriloquist. So, someone who's, like, very dolled up and also has a dummy with them.
Yes.
And the whole house is like that.
And that house was super strange because, like, it was like a weird time capsule of technology. Like, they would set up a computer.
That was the one with 3 computers in the bathroom, wasn't it?
It had 1 computer in the bathroom. But they would, like, set up their computer that they got, and then they'd have that station where they would use it.
Also, we moved past that as if that was normal.
And then they would... Yeah, I know this.
It only had 1 computer in the bathroom. I'm like, this is a desktop with a CRT in the bathroom. Thomas says, only 1 computer in the bathroom. That's the law.
But, like, they would get their new computer, like, whenever they updated, and they would leave the old one at its, like, station where they had everything set up, and they'd have the next one. And then the other one would be in a different room, so there was, like, this weird transition of technology through the house.
Listen, I'm telling you...
There was, like, 7 computers.
I'm telling you guys, if you got a group of friends, play Broke a Picture Phone. And then when you're done...
Look at real estate
listings together. I honestly think you'll have a blast. Go for the stuff that's really expensive. Find the ones that are eccentric, because they are just a never-ending pile of fun. Seriously, yeah. If we could get the rights to actually, like, show the photos and talk about everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be a hoot of a show. It really, really would. Anyway, we never answered Mr. Gameboy's question at all.
I don't care about fancy.
Well,
like, I've grown to hate our granite countertop in this rental, Probably mostly because of the pattern on it. You can't see.
You can't see what's on it.
Yeah,
If
like
you because it's a what's the word for that pattern? They know what it is. It's like all the
it's like a calico.
yeah. It looks
calico
like
cat.
yeah.
It's like brown and like there's light brown and dark brown. You can't see crumbs on it, so you don't know if it's dirty. And like I wipe it all the time, and I'm just like,
you just never know.
I hate it.
Yeah, Renee has the same problem.
Like,
So like
my
yeah,
dad's is like
you can like if you're
like a
trying
light
to
gray, and
like,
I
if you're-
love it.
If you're trying to like add spices or stuff to something, or you're putting salt or whatever, and it
Those
gets
seeds
on the
that come
counter,
off that
you don't
bread.
know. Yeah. Oh my god, it's a nightmare. So I know you want like a completely.
Oh, I want the most industrial kitchen.
Mal wants like the.
I want to be able to spray the kitchen down with a hose with a drain in the middle of the room.
Well, I don't know that.
Chaz is right. Stainless steel countertops. Yep. I would love that.
I mean, it'd be fine. It would not be great for filming, but you know, it'd be okay. Just imagine that would be fairly reflective, but.
Anyway, as for the rest of the house, like, I have things that I want. Like, I want a space to have, like, a studio, but then also, like, a recording space.
Yeah, there's a lot of asterisks on this question because, like, ideally, like, we would there, you
Intense
know,
kitchen talk.
ideally, our home would not have to be that large to accommodate certain things because there would be a separate building that was either used solely by us or shared with another community of like-minded individuals who used the equipment and stuff and the space.
Yeah.
Like a commune.
Where we have a community building for, like, hanging out, but also, like, workspaces.
Yeah. I would... Yeah.
An intentional community, pocket neighborhood. They have lots of names.
Yeah. So...
It'd kind of be like having an HOA with, like, a clubhouse. But it would be people who, like...
Which is, I said dream house. Well, that is... Technically, my dream house would be to have... You know, because, like, if you ask me about my dream house, like, it's just like a blank. I don't have anything I really want. The only thing that's important to me is production, and thus, I want things where there are permanent installations of production. Having to move things around is for the birds. I don't want to do that. And, like, I've got ideas for a bunch of other series to do things like tabletop, and I really need, like...
a space to do a setup
I need,
for that.
yeah, I need space to have the setup to do that. Likewise, if Mallory had more room, I would change the way that she does Mal Makes too. And Purple Boy is like, what color's in the house? This is important. It's not! It's just, I'm like,
I mean...
I don't know, like, black.
I like to look at floor plans. And I don't pay a whole lot of attention to, like, the outside of the house. I just like to see the layouts and, like, alright, this room would be this, and this room would be that. And we could, like, take out this wall, and then Steven could have this, and this would be the space for breakfast stream.
Yeah, but, like, if it comes down to, like, you know, rooms, baths, style, I really don't have a preference. Like, the only thing that really matters to me
I
is
like
having...
the look of a modern house.
Oh, I have one request.
Or like a craftsman house. I love the columns in the front for the craftsman.
I do have one request.
Yes.
The upstairs has proper air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I don't have that now.
It's way too warm up here.
Yeah. Anyway, I need to move on. There's a lot of there's a lot of things to read.
Jules wants us to see their house so bad. From what I've seen in the videos, it looks super cool.
Yeah, maybe at some point, like, in...
The after times?
The after times. We'll manage to do that. I think that'll be fun.
I'd like to see San Diego, besides our drive-through the one time we drove through there to see Alex and Haley.
I'll come, we'll come make a song, Jules. We'll make a low production. Or I could shoot. I could try shooting. I know you have someone who shoots your music videos. We could I could shoot one, and I would do it in like a very different style. It would like be a narrative, but with Doorbell Man playing guitar, which there'd be a whole story involved. Anyway, I need to keep reading. 10 months from Cyrus Brams. Thanks, Cyrus. Would you like to shoot a doorbell video? I'd like to be the doorbell. I'll dress up as a doorbell. Boop, boop, boop.
Is this turning into, like, Alice in Wonderland, the doorbell?
I thought you were going to say, like, some weird Rule 34 stuff. And I was like, both. Probably both. 300 bits from Nixelpad says, press L for slorp.
It says S, not L.
Did I say
Yes, you
L?
did.
Brandon says, Steven, I can't delete your voice. Welcome to Mal's dismay on a daily basis. 300 bits from White 15 Wolf says, getting married this Saturday, wedding high P.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. A celebratory Kepler turnaround. That's awesome. And Chad is very excited for you as well. I hope your wedding goes great. Fantastic. It's so nice that there's still good things happening. People are still getting excited for things in the world. 4 months from Saskra64, who says, thank you, Steven and Mal, for making the community feel like a part of your family. Well, thank you, community, for contributing in such a way that you feel part of the family. That goes both ways, so thank you.
We're just here.
God, that's you just put that on my tombstone. He was just kind of here. That's how I feel. That's how, I don't know. We're just we just wake up and eat food and click some buttons and go to bed. That's how I feel. And it's not a bad thing. I don't feel bad about it. But it's a very, I don't know. I've got so many thoughts that are just about that. 12 months. That is a year. From Sparks15, who says, 1 year ago, I ended my time as a lurker since I started watching your content in January 2012. Since then, I have really felt the kindness and warmth of this amazing community, especially when I joined the Discord. Thank you both for being you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sparks. And congrats on the year. 300 bits from Squid, who says, do we need to get Steven a ladle for something in his size? That reminds me of a bumper idea that I had, and it's not original at all. This has been done to death across all sorts of different shows over the years for comedy stuff. But you take a really big person, and you take a really small person, and within the context of the TRG community, it'd most likely be like me and Adri. And you do a back and forth where it's like you're handing stuff to each other off screen. Mm-hmm. So I have a tiny little spoon, and Adri would be sitting and be like, could you pass me a spoon for my cereal?
And you pass it.
And I pass it, and it's this giant spoon. It's the sort of thing that's super stupid, but people would probably...
It would be hilarious,
it would be funny,
though.
and to do it within the context of our community, I think would be very funny. I know I just kind of spoiled an idea, but we have both little and giant spoons here. Wow, California truly is the land of opportunity. Thank you. That was one of the funniest things I've said.
Adri gives you a guitar and you pick up a ukulele.
That one's good too. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas that you could do with this. We don't have water, but gosh, do we have spoons. People in California. My God. 9 months from Rojaniel. That is a triple plus. Thank you, Rojaniel. 500 bits from Golden Fire Link, who says, hey, grandparents, how are you? I'm getting 2 kittens tomorrow.
That's really exciting.
And was wondering if you could offer any tips. My God, what an exciting thing and a good time to bring literal concentrated joy into your home.
Yeah. Kittens specifically, Golden Fire. That's gonna be different than if you're getting an adult cat.
Yeah,
for sure.
if you're getting kittens, patience.
Yeah. Make sure you, like, kitten-proof the house.
That's another big thing. When you
'Cause,
first get them,
don't let them in every room at start.
yeah,
Like,
you have to. They have to adjust to your house.
maybe like 1 room or 2 rooms.
I would like if I'm just putting myself in that perspective. If I was getting 2 kittens tomorrow, how would I handle it? And they would spend some amount of time in like a bathroom.
Yeah.
They would be only in the bathroom for
Yep, kittens.
some amount of time.
And then it would
Few
be
days.
like allowed into the living room.
Yeah, supervised.
Yes.
Yeah, you have them in the bathroom, and that's where they stay. And you go to visit them, and then eventually you bring them out into a room. But then they go back into the bathroom after that supervision, and eventually you just slowly start to like introduce them to different things. And then the other thing I would offer, the other tip, is obviously make sure they know where the bathroom is, but not the bathroom, the
Litter box.
litter box. But if you have it in the bathroom, you'll be fine. The other thing I would offer is decide early how you want them to behave. We actually had this discussion on Breakfast Stream a few weeks ago about if you want the cats to play fight with you/humans. So we elected not to do that with our boys. We wanted it to be very specifically they use toys, when they're playing, because you're going to have to be very strict. You're going to have to be very strict on a lot of things. If you don't want them on counters,
start early, be consistent.
Start early and be consistent. Consistency is the biggest thing with cats. People say you can't train cats, and that's wrong. That's a lie. They have a lot of independency, but can you train them? Yeah. Absolutely. So, be consistent, do your best, and, it will, it'll pay off. It'll pay off.
And enjoy it.
It's
fun.
fast, too.
Yeah.
It's over very fast.
I mean, in the midst of it, you're going to be like, why did I get kittens and not adults? Because they're crazy, and they are handfuls.
Yeah, not to scare you, they are going to be a handful for 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. They are going to be full of energy, and it wasn't until our boys were probably close to 3 years old that they really started to mellow out.
And once they got to be about 5, then they were super chill.
Yeah. But, the first bit's going to be crazy, and they have so much energy. And, one of the things that separates them from puppies is that they can get into stuff because they can jump much higher than dogs. They can climb things. And there's a lot of things, with kittens that you wouldn't have to worry about with a puppy. A puppy can, chew on stuff, sure. But, you're probably not going to walk into a... I'm going to pretend I didn't read that. But you're probably not going to walk into a room and see a kitten see a puppy at the top of your curtains turned around like, meow. So, but enjoy it because it really is wonderful, and they're small for such a small amount of time.
Yeah.
They are not that tiny very long.
We got ours in September. Yeah.
Yep.
We got our boys in September, and by the end of the year, they were full size.
Yeah. I mean, they looked adolescent, and they look adolescent for a year and a half or 2 years. But yeah, they're very tiny for a very short time. So take lots of photos. You'll be grateful later. 11 months from Justice for Iphidamus, who says, "Hoo boy, it's been a very hot minute since I've been able to tune in, but now I've got a whole 3 months of nothing before starting grad school. So here we are. Hope you two are doing well and have a wonderful day." I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All things considered. I'm glad that you are here. And hey, 3 months of nothing? That's not bad. Take it easy. World's hard enough. 300 bits from Andrew in the kitchen says, "Good morning, Stephen and Mel. I'm having a class at the same time as the stream, and I'm trying to multitask. This would also be a good time to remember that I am not good at multitasking, and I have mild regrets. But it's been real cold in the UK, so I need to keep warm and toasty. It's not been cold here." In fact, we had to skip a walk yesterday because I was like, well, maybe we could walk by sundown. And Mal's like, it'll still be 80 degrees. And I'm like, oh.
And humid.
I have to take night walks. I'm going to walk with a flashlight or something.
No.
What if we got up, like, real early? Or is it still hot?
It's still pretty hot.
What if we walked with a parasol?
It's still hot.
What if we walked with a parasol that had fans dangling around it that pointed inward?
Maybe. Like, the beach would be better because the beach is cooler.
Yeah.
But...
Brandon says 80 without sun isn't terrible. It's not. It's the humidity.
It's the humidity.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll be walking indoors a little bit. 500 bits from Red2006 says, speaking of bad decisions.
It's already 80 this morning.
Of course it is.
And the humidity's at 71%.
I had started reading the alert. Go ahead. 500 bits from Red2006 says, speaking of bad decisions, for my own video projects, I decided to record a Link to the Past randomizer for my 1-year anniversary. I put the enemy randomizer option on. Things went horrifically wrong, to put it mildly. I could see that being a problem. There's, certain enemies that you really shouldn't be fighting early in the game, so, yeah, that could be hard. I've never actually finished Link to the Past, and it's one of those things that, I want to get around to. I've gotten pretty far into it, but I've never finished the game. Thomas was streaming it the other day, and when I tuned in, I was like, man, I don't know where this is. What is this? I had no idea. 300 bits from Leo Pritchett. Hi guys, tomorrow's my twin brother's and mine's 22nd birthday. Well, happy birthday. We both play on the same Animal Crossing file, so we were very excited to see how the game will handle twins' birthdays. Ooh. Anyway, hope everyone is safe and has a great day. That's curious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm really excited for, and you'll have to, like, let us know. If you're both simultaneously playing. Like, you know how they do the thing where you can have two people that are in the same town, like, play simultaneously? You can talk to villagers and stuff, right? That doesn't change anything?
I don't think so. I haven't tried it.
So, like, if you're doing that and you talk to villagers, will they be like, oh, birthday, and ignore one person? Or if they'll just act as if it's, you know, each person's birthday? I don't know, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. One of the things that I've recently lamented is the fact that I have finished collecting all of the music for KK Slider, but you have to get KK Birthday on your birthday. And guess who started playing Animal Crossing on their birthday? It was me.
So you're missing one song.
Well, Haley sent it to me.
Oh.
Which was incredibly nice. She didn't have to do that. But I was going to have to wait until next year to finally finish the whole library. And she just sent it to me. She was like, I don't need it. And I was like, thank you. So. But eventually I'll get another copy.
And I have to wait too, because I didn't have KK by my birthday.
Oh, really?
So I don't have it.
You have to wait even longer than me.
Yeah.
Suddenly I win. Anyway, happy birthday to you and your brother both. 300 bits from Prince, who says, so work is fully open again and I am made of pain. Feet hurt, neck hurt, everything is stiff. I was roped into working all day instead of just my evening shift, and it's crazy how busy we get with like 10-ish tables open for proper social distancing. But they did make $200 in tips with only 3 shifts, so like, I can afford a pedicure today. Well, that's nice. I can relate to the pain. Because the other day we cleaned the house and I used muscles I haven't used in like forever.
Well, it doesn't help when you're 6.5 feet tall and you're bent over our tiny sink trying to do dishes.
In vacuum?
In vacuum.
Why don't they make taller vacuums?
For tall people?
Yeah. I wish that was a thing. I can relate to the pain. Very specifically the pain. The pain part. 16 months from Halaloth. Crunch time at 16 months? Awesome. On a different note, I have a Zoom interview in a little while in an attempt to escape retail, and I'm hoping I don't have to leave early because of it. Well, if you do...
Good luck.
Good luck, no matter what, and, we'll see you back here at some point, whether it's VOD or...
Tomorrow.
Or live. Or tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. More Mario RPG. Oh my god, the clouds!
Finally.
That was so upsetting. Last Friday, I was like, we're going to get to the clouds today, you guys. And did we get to the clouds? No. We stopped directly short of getting to the clouds. So upset. Anyway, Alxame gifts a sub to Gwendamere. Appreciate it. Thank you, Alxame. 13 months from Fuzzy Pickle 95. Appreciate that. We got 16 months from Spin and Trap. It says 16 months. Neat. The alerts for Breakfast Stream are basically the only reason I'm sure it's Tuesday or Thursday. No certainty about which of those 2 days it actually is, but hey, that's still helpful. I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that same thought pattern and energy.
Yeah.
Like, is there a stream today? Well, it's either Tuesday or Thursday. Which one? Don't know. In fairness, I also feel the same now that Lunch Punch doesn't exist.
I know.
Like, they're identical. You know that picture? I've never seen The Office, but you know the picture of, is her name Pam? I think her name's Pam. Where there'll be like 2 different images, and then it'll be a meme of her going, that's the same picture.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday and Thursday for me. Tuesday or Thursday. I always know if it's Friday, because I have a controller. If I have a controller, I'm like, it must be a Friday. That's what's happening. Anyway, we got 300 bits from Colin Dippy, who says, thank you for all that you guys do. I donated to NCAAP, or NAACP because of you, and I really enjoyed the vlog for it yesterday. It's been really inspiring to see the massive outcry from everyone for change, and I really hope this time's the one. Yeah, if you haven't seen the vlog I released yesterday, it is, I guess it qualifies as a heavy vlog. I was going to call it a serious vlog. I saw someone in the comments say that anytime I film from that angle, anytime I film from that angle, that is how, you know, they know it's serious. And I'm like, that's fair. It's the serious angle. It's fair. It's funny because like the monthly Patreon videos are done that way. So to patrons it probably doesn't feel that way. They're probably like, "Oh, look. This is a very weird Patreon video." 6 months from Callium. It says, "Good morning. Currently stressing over final projects, so breakfast stream is a welcome distraction. Good luck with your finals." Good luck with your finals. It's June?
Yeah.
That sucks. I mean, still, good luck with your finals, but also, June? I guess people have school into June. Some people, it's like into like the middle of, in the middle of June, right? It lasts that long?
Sometimes.
Well, regardless, I wish you the best on that. 1,000 bits from Jesse from Anorak. It's been a while since I dropped some bits. Let me be another to say that both of you are 2 of the most influential people I know. I count it the privilege to have met you in person, and I hope that one day a lot of us grandkids can meet up again. God bless. Aw. Well, thank you, Jesse. I appreciate it. And yeah, I hope for many, many different reasons. I've got a laundry list of reasons life can get back to normal. And that being one of them. You know, the fact that we haven't done any sort of like meetup. I'm trying to think of the last like viewer meetup we had. It's been a while, because it had been a while anyway, and then the pandemic hit, and it's like, oh, I guess we're not doing that for a while. Because we were at PAX in 2018. Mm-hmm. When was it that year that we were in Greenville?
Yes.
It's also 2018, right?
Yes.
And that was when you did the workshop.
Yes.
And that was when I did the live Q&A. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That was the last time we did anything. So we're coming up on like 2 years since we've done anything like that. Well, you know, thank God for streams. We can at least communicate with folks. So. South California event. Do you mean South Carolina? If you mean South Carolina, then that was August 2018. Yeah, South Carolina. My first thought was like, South California. I was like, we have been to not South California, but you know.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's pretty far south. I'm trying to think. Anyway, 300 bits from Nixelpad says, let me tell you about my final year of college. Be forewarned, it sucked and invoked a lot of grief. The month before my full-time unpaid internship, my sister passed away. So I was already going into it mentally and prepared. More coming because it's a long rant. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the next part. Then my collaborative teacher and I really did not mesh well together, and I struggled with her all year on top of still being at college full-time and working part-time over the weekend. Then in January this year, my grandmother passed away as well. February I mourned with y'all, and overall I have been stressed. Well, first off, let me say I'm sorry, because it's one of those things, and it's not like it's planned, but it seems like when grief happens, it piles on, and I hate that. And it's not that it always happens; it's just you tend to notice that pattern when it finally occurs. So I'm sorry that you've had to go through all that, because that's just awful. And I really hope that there's like some light in your life soon, because everyone's got to have some of that. The advantage is once you've gone through so much is that you've been through like some of the worst stuff, and when you finally get to the other side of it, you can start to heal because you've been through garbage. So yeah, I obviously can't relate to that scale, but I can certainly speak from, when we were, in February and things were bad. They were just so bad. And to have traversed that, and like to some extent, for your entire life, you're traversing that. But you get, a little bit better, and it's nice. So, I see a song in the queue, which might be appropriate for now too.
Are you ready?
Yeah, happy
Here.
song time. Might I suggest some Kitty Love?
I took this so you could pick him up if you wanted.
I will tell you something. Yep, this is heavy, but this is Cap. He is wonderful. I love him, and when I think that he is wiggling, well, it's just because he's a cat. Cappy was asleep. He probably doesn't appreciate this. That wasn't my best rhyme, but I probably get bonus points for holding up Cap, so I'll take that.
And back to lay down. He
I
does
love-
not care.
I love that he was okay with that entire thing. Like, it didn't... He laid back down. Okay.
Did you spill something on your wrist? Because he's like... Is he licking you?
He does this sometimes.
Huh.
It does make you wonder if there's, like, some sort of thing. It's like, can he smell something inside me? Don't know if I like that. Oh, he's...
Still
What are you
smelling
doing?
your arm?
What? Okay, what? It's fine. Is it anime time? He wants the bones. That's it. I forgot. Anyway, that was 5,000 bits from Nixelpad who said, happy song time. Might I suggest some kitty love? I love kitties. Always have. Grew up with cats in the household. And so many of my friends had cats.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And that's continued. We have friends with dogs, but like more
Yeah.
friends of ours have cats.
Yeah. I love dogs, but as far as having an animal around the house, I'm like, cat. 21 months from D-Scoot. What is your favorite flavor of tea? Mine is Higgins and Burke Chocolate Banana Parfait. That's That's a tea? Sounds like an ice cream. Favorite flavor of tea? I mean, like...
You drink everything. You're just like, this one? Okay.
Raisins in my tea. That'd probably be okay. It'd be like grape tea. It'd be alright. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite flavor of tea, to be honest. Like, my favorite... Like, I like black tea probably more than anything else, but I enjoy a cup of green tea. But as far as, like, individual flavors, I'm just not that guy. I'm just not that guy. Oh my god. Ah! That is not enough.
You see when turning around.
I don't even... I'm looking at the games and I could not pick one out. This prompt is enough to make me shout. I guess this is a weird one, it seems, but the one Mal chose is Off-Road Extreme. Off-Road Extreme Special Edition. And you know darn well that there's not a normal edition. There was a period... Yeah, Mr. Gamer said... I said first, but I blanked. I looked and I'm like... Because you said first, but my brain is smart. My brain's smarter than that. It's like, you can't just pick any game. How will you rhyme it? But Mallory doesn't have that, so she was like, just do this one. And then I'm like, thank you, Mallory. There was a period, and actually it's probably still ongoing, where publishers will release games and they'll call them Special Edition. And there's no normal edition. It's not special. It's the normal edition. Anyway, for future prompts like that, you'll basically have to... You said Mal doesn't have a brain. Well, that's not what I implied. You'll have to do that sort of thing.
What, pick you a game?
Because I wouldn't be able to do it. Also, Brandon says, that song was Off the Road. It's literally in the title. It was awesome. It was also...
My brain is smart, but Mallory doesn't have that.
Yeah, sometimes my word choice is not great, but people understand what I mean. You know what I mean. Those 5,000 bits from Mr. Game Boy 18, you said, sing about the first game you see when turning around. In the future, Mal will have to choose those games. The hardest part of that is that, and I actually was talking about this with Mal, on Whose Line, before they start singing, the prompt is decided. Before the music starts, the prompt is decided. And I was like, Mal, you know I have it harder than the show? Because on the show, you know, Drew Carey or, who's the other, Aisha Tyler?
Mm-hmm. She's current, yeah.
She's current. I'm just so used to watching the older shows. They will say, like, okay, so we're going to do this, you know, this topic. And then the music, starts. Whereas on our show... The music starts, and sometimes it's me like, oh god, trying to scroll down. So by the time I get to it, I have moments of like, shoot. And then on this one, it's like, turn around. And I'm like, that is adding time that I am losing. So yeah, it's unique. It's unique. And our Doodle says they also know when they're doing it. Yeah, so they can like mentally prepare. Like, we are coming up on the segment.
They also put them in an order. That's why... They're in
That's
that
why
order.
Ryan is last.
Yeah.
And
Colin doesn't sing.
My name is Colin Mockery, and I just always talk. That's how he does it.
I need to start doing that.
And Bucky Boy says, plus on the show there are bloopers. Yeah, if you've ever seen the blooper reel, there's a lot of failed songs, and I'm like, well, you know, at least it makes me feel better whenever I mess something up. Anyway, Mr. Game Boy, thank you for the bits. I appreciate it.
Shout out to Wayne Brady for always going first. He's amazing at that.
Yeah. He's also the youngest by a lot of everyone on that show. If you look up the ages, here's one wild thing. Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles are very close in age, and I think that is surprising to folks, because it's like, oh well, Colin's like 10, 15 years older than Ryan, right? It's like, no, they're very close in age, and I think that catches people off guard. So yeah, look up their ages at some point. You'll be like, oh. So we gotta let the young whippersnapper, Wayne Brady, go first, because he's He's sharp. Anyway, 2 months from Broken Dylan. Dylan, thank you. Appreciate
So
it.
if we do this for Coliseum, you as the grandpa are going to be last, right?
It's easier if you're last. I'll just wait for someone to sacrifice themselves, like Tyler. Tyler would be like, I'll go first, and I'd be like, go for it. You do that. I'll go last, sure. It gives you the most time. 500 bits from Fuzzy Pickle 95, who says, hello, grandparents. I totally slept last night and absolutely didn't stay up all night playing Persona 5. Anywho, what's the status of Vlogmail? Is it on hiatus or just low on the priority list? We will be filming it pretty soon. We were waiting on Mal to finish her painting.
Yeah.
And now that she's finished her painting, it's just a matter of taking the time to do it. We'll be recording... I'll put it into perspective this way. We will be recording Vlogmail before Mal starts her next painting. I think that's the best way of saying that. And what we've kind of shifted to doing, and it's a conscious decision, but we're now waiting longer periods of time to do Vlogmail, and then we're doing 2 months at a time. So it'll feel like it's been a while, but you also get two pretty close together. And the reason we've done that is just because it's, it has to be physically given to Dan. And because we're all doing like the social distancing thing, if we do it half as often, then we have to see Dan half as much. So that's kind of been like the idea behind it. 9 months from Aldo512 says, tried to do this back on my birthday like a month ago, but Twitch is bad at notifications sometimes, so I guess I'll have my Twitch baby at work. Seems awkward, but that's just how things go. Sometimes you have your baby at work. Also, shout out to everyone who's actually had a baby at work. That seems stressful. Also, what would be the thing? I mean, if it came early, if you were truly not expecting it.
Yeah.
But if it was like your due date and you went to work, I mean,
you're not gonna just have the baby on the due date.
Well, I'm just saying, like...
The baby comes when it's ready.
Oh, I know. I came early.
I know.
I was like 2 weeks? I think I came 2 weeks sooner than the proposed due date, so... You never know. You never know. 3 months from the Petros 14. Just turned 22 on Friday, and me and my wife are celebrating our halfway point on our birthday. Been watching since Columbia. You guys have been such a joy, especially lately. Thank you so much. Oh, well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
And enjoy being 22. I can remember being 22. Partially because I just watched a vlog last night where I was 22.
Where you were 22.
Where I was 22. There was something that came up, and I watched an old vlog from 2011. And I was like, so that's what I was like at 22. Okay. There's been changes. There's been changes. I know a lot of people are like, you're the same person. I'm like, largely, but not completely. Not completely. You just change over the years. 500 bits from Murmur says, coffee facts from a former barista. The darker the roast of the coffee, the less caffeine it has. Also, the reason cold brew is less acidic than regular coffee is because heat is never introduced in the brewing process. I've heard that before. And also, something about, there's more flavor the less the bean is roasted. Is that true? Or do I have it backwards?
No, I think that's how it is. But
Yeah.
I feel like the taste is a lot more subtle. And I like the taste of a dark roast.
Yeah. Yeah, it has some, it's like something, if the more you roast it, the more it goes towards this roast flavor and you lose the flavor of the bean itself.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Brandon says, I'm team dark roast. Same. Like, the darker the roast, the better. So. Did you know there's no such thing as cold, just lack of heat?
Jeff says you all make Jeff sad. I'm
sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry. It's just true. It's just true. I mean, the coffee that Jeff has made for us has been, good. But I know that there has definitely been times where Jeff has handed me a cup and has been describing things that I don't taste. He's like, do you get the... And I'm like, yes. Like, yes, I do. I don't want to feel uncultured, but I'm like...
I mean...
It just tastes like good coffee to me. I'm like, this is good coffee.
I mean, it's interesting to watch him roast green coffee beans and then...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, roast it himself right there and then grind them up and then brew it with his fancy glass thing with the...
He is very... And, like, maybe if I was in a position where I was experiencing that a lot and having that and different... like, I could start to tell the difference. So... Jules asks, where does he get the beans? That's a question for Chaz.
Chaz may not know.
Chaz is going to be the closest person to know. Chaz, where does your husband get beans? The only beans I have are on a button on a machine. So Chaz might be able to... He's probably actively asking Jeff. Let's see. 300 bits from PK Magical, who says, have some bits because I love how Mal knows just what to say. I'm good about that. Mal helps me out all the time. There's online places when roasting yourself. Right now we are using a local roastery that does a very good job. There you go. 300 bits from Summer Essentia. I've been watching your content for about 9 years now, since I was 11 years old. I'm really happy that it was you two who ended up being my role models growing up, and that I can still look up to you now. Thank you for being you, grandparents.
Thank you.
You are all being very sweet. Thank you. It means a lot. You don't know. You don't know how much it means. 500 bits from Gamer Girl, who says, morning, Stephen Mao, how are you? Pretty good. A little tired. Stayed up a little late to make sure I got some stuff done, so there will probably be a brief nap in our future. But then, the rest of the day should be good.
Yeah.
I only have a few more vlogs to make. I think I released 6.1, so I have to do 6.2 and 6.3. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty good month. It's gonna be a pretty good month for a few things. On that note, that's actually one of the reasons I was up late last night. For our patrons, there's a new Patreon video out, and it talks about like a few things. A few reasons why I'm excited for June. I think June will actually end up being pretty cool. 300 bits from Nixelpad, who says, welcome to Broken Picture Phone. Today's theme is anonymous and terrible real estate listings. I don't know how that would go, but I'm not opposed. People make recommendations in the comments. And, one of the long-running jokes on Broken Picture Phone is, like, recommend a theme and we won't use it. But the truth is, like, we do. We actually do go through the comments and we're like, oh, that's not bad. We should do that. 300 bits from Print7. I look over at my dog and just see him gnawing, and I pause because what is he chewing on? He's on top of some books right now. I then realize he's just eating his own paw. And all is well, but poor guy must be itchy.
My dog did that. Trisket?
There's some times where Kep and then also Sagan they would really chew...
Their nails, though. They chew on their nails.
That's not the only thing, though. Like, sometimes when they're cleaning themselves and they're licking, they'll do the bite motion.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's, like, a lot, and I'm like, you okay? You alright?
Itch.
Can I get that for you? Do you need a cream? They don't need a cream. 17 months from Kazeyumi. Kaze, thank you. Appreciate it. 300 bits from Shy, who says, after Steven's track story, I remembered my own stories from high school. By the main entrance where students mainly entered in the morning, there's an elevator that won't open unless you scan a key card. My locker was located on the 3rd floor. At some point, I discovered that if you pressed the call, but as it started moving, it would still be unlocked, so I started to abuse this whenever possible. This pissed off the teachers monitoring the morning, so I'd solid snake my way behind them. That sounds fun.
Where I taught, I didn't trust the elevator, and it was right across from my classroom, and so and I was in charge of keeping a key for it so people could use it, like to bring books around or whatever, and my room was right there, so they'd just be like, here, take the key. But people would get stuck in that elevator because the building was so old. Like, it was scary. Did not like.
We get a 4-month resub from XX Obronx, who says, "Good morning from Nevada." Good morning. Hope everything is good in the desert. I mean, there's more to Nevada, but like, you know, when I think of that state, I'm like, the desert.
Doan has a paternoster lift. Ever since we saw the Tom Scott video on the funky elevator where you just step on and they constantly just move. Do you remember that video?
Oh, the one that like it never stops?
Yes. Doan's school has one of those. I want to go on one.
I'm with Renee. It sounds scary.
Oh, I want to try it though.
It sounds scary. It's the best thing, a constant source of amusement for drunk students. Wisconsin?
I think there might be one in the US. One.
Really?
Yeah. Most of them are like in Germany.
Interesting. Yeah, I remember that video.
Mm-hmm.
They're interesting, but you actually can't damage yourself on it. If you overshoot, you go into the basement or loft and it's dark. Okay. Let's see.
Brandon says, I don't know which one to link.
Also, Tom Scott has 5 elevator videos is the most Tom Scott statement ever made. Like that, we've hit peak Tom Scott. That's what it is.
Yeah, he does have a lot. It's the paternoster one. That was 4 years ago that he did that? Dang.
I always enjoy his stuff. 300 bits from Gold Mage, who says, been an interesting couple of days. Computer started blue screen of death a lot, then refused to turn on. Have to mail it to be repaired/replaced. In the meanwhile, really glad for your streams, where I can tell you that California sea lion males have a bump on their heads referred to as a sagittal crest.
I did not know that.
You learn something every day, and sometimes that thing you learn is about sea lions.
I do enjoy learning about sea lions.
Let it never be said people didn't learn something on breakfast. I actually think that people learn a lot of stuff on breakfast stream. One of my favorite things is education. Like, I really love learning stuff. It's why I like watching like little mini documentaries and stuff all the time. It's why I like Tom Scott.
Yeah.
And if I can contribute to that in some way, then cool, I'm down for it. Probably not contributing too much on like a Friday stream, but we're teaching other people about like Mario RPG, and that's almost a life skill. 500 bits from Fandom SVT. So the interview presentation went very well, and while I made a few, hopefully, tiny mistakes during the interviews, I hope my enthusiasm for the job showed through. Anyway, I'm supposed to hear back at the end of the month. Well, fingers are crossed. Sending good vibes, I guess, to you so you feel good about how it went, and then also to the interviewer so they'll be like, yeah, Phantom SVT. Strange that they used a username instead of their real name, but yes, this is fine. We got a 6-month resub from CT400IM, who says, double plus, and you're right. That's what that is, double plus. 250 bits from Kaze Umi. Kaze, thank you. 300 bits from Satsu, who says, honk. Hi, I'm not actually here. I've been watching someone complete Undertale for the first time. Have a great day, everyone. Oh, that's cool. That's another game. Link to the Past. Undertale. I feel bad I've never played Undertale, because at this point I feel like I know so much about it, and like I know that there would be plenty of things that would be a surprise because I've never watched the game be played or anything. It's just so much of it's like seeped into pop culture. Yeah, and as Pirazadon says, you know, you did a first 20. It's just so funny if you go back and watch that. Like, I did a first 20 right as it came out because I wanted to help Toby. I was like, oh, I want to help out my butt. And then immediately, like, days later...
The game was everywhere then.
I was like, oh, I'm going to help my buddy Toby and play this game and try and help promote it. Days later, it's like, Undertale better than any other game ever made. And I'm like, what? What? It's like, it has dethroned Half-Life 2 as... the best Metacritic game, and I'm like, what's happening? I don't know. We sing praises to Toby Fox Lord of, and I'm like, what's happening right now? And I realized it's like, oh, I guess my first 20 was not necessary. Not necessary. Anyway, we got 500 bits from Wandering Stars. It says, hey, Stephen, are you considering doing a donation stream for Black Lives Matter? I think our community could really raise a lot of money and make an impact. It's something I'm considering, doing some sort of donation stream. Although, in the meantime, and this is something that's really unique to what's happening now, I really recommend people researching what they want to donate to specifically. Because it's not like there's like one central point of donations for everything that's happening right now. There's so many different things that people could donate towards, different aspects, whether they want to donate towards legal funds, or they want to donate towards police reform, or bail bonds, or whatever.
Or local, or
national. Mm-hmm. So like, it's actually kind of cool because there's so many different ways that people can choose to assist financially if they want to. So that's really great. Jules wants to linky something. Jules, you can linky something.
I don't know if he can.
Oh.
I think Ahmad has to.
Jules, you can send it to Ahmad, who can linky something. Otherwise, Nightbot will be like, boom, boom.
Nightbot was like, boom.
Yep. Had you well, I allowed it. Nightbot didn't, and Nightbot's crazy. But yeah, it's one of the really cool aspects of what's happening right now is that it's, people can help in a variety of different ways, and whatever they feel most passionate about, they can donate towards, which I think is certainly unique, and also, probably one of my favorite things about this. And Brandon's got, oh, okay. Wanted to link the homepage of the website I just linked. Yep. There's a bunch of different ways to assist through that. It's so different than doing like, like a very specific fun, like, oh, things are, happening in this very specific point. It's like, no, it's so many different points, and because of, like Mal said, it being on a local level too, you can help out your very specific community, which is wonderful. We got 1,500 bits from Kimchi Kobold, who said, you guys inspired me to adopt a cat the other day. Another adoption. Ended up naming him Arthur Morgan. And I keep telling him I just need to do one more job. Arthur is a cute name for a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you don't get that reference yet, but you will.
I know of the character. You've told me that.
No. Not Arthur Morgan. The keep telling him I just need him to do one more job. That's the reference, and you'll get it. You gotta have faith, son.
Is that Thunder?
That's someone just dragging a dumpster down the street.
It has to be, because it's sunny outside. It's not supposed to rain today.
It's sunny. The perfect weather for dragging a dumpster down the street. Anyway, Kimchi, enjoy your cat. It's a wonderful experience. And at some point, when I can tear him out, when we have enough time to do it, and also when I can tear him out away from Animal Crossing, and also she finishes Bioshock, then can't wait for you to play. I need to finish the F word because then I can move the Xbox downstairs.
Yeah.
And then you can play Red Dead Redemption. I read an interesting rumor.
You told me.
I read an. I don't
do you
know
remember
if they.
You told me?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know if they've heard it. I read an interesting rumor that honestly makes sense to me, and that is that that Rockstar is considering remastering the first Red Dead Redemption, and I'm like, that makes perfect sense, because it never got a PC release. Sequentially, it takes place after Red Dead Redemption 2, so like. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So they are, I don't know if that's going to end up being true or not. It's obviously a rumor, but does it make sense? Yeah, it totally does. There's a lot of people that played Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was their introduction to the series. Let's do Red Dead Redemption 1. Plus, if they did that, I would be very likely to play it. Do a stream or something of it, so. Oh, Jules says, it was my intro, loved it. Okay, nice. So I played Red Dead Redemption 1 when it came out.
And you loved it.
Red Dead Redemption 1, the story of it is so good. It, and very specifically the ending, instantly became like one of my like top 10 favorite games. I was like, it's so good. So I obviously was really excited about playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And it also, as a game, as the whole, like, Red Dead Redemption 2 is in like top 5 games now. Don't ever ask me to tell you what those 5 games are because they shift a lot. But it's more of an expression of like, that's how good I felt like the game was. I really, really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 2. So I hope that they would redo 1. Especially because it's next in line, like sequentially it is next. And that's wonderful, because then you can just go on through it. Diddy Egg says, wait till you play Breath of the Wild, Steven. I'm looking forward to that as well. I think that'll be fun. 300 bits from Daniac6. That raisin toast alert reminded me that the raisins do a pelvic thrust near the end. Thanks for that. The California raisins were a strange product of their time.
Coffee!
That were reintroduced. Because they were like not a thing for a long time, and then they came back. And they pelvic thrust. 14 months from Lizu1. Appreciate it. Thank you. 500 bits from Kazuyumi. Off-Road Extreme Special Edition. It has a little something for everyone. Does it say that on the box? Because I can believe that it would, and also, what could it possibly have for everyone? It's literally, it's a racing game. And it's a racing game, but it's very specific.
The SNL character?
What?
The one that's like, there's a little something. This has everything. He does this.
Who are you referencing?
What's the character's name?
So far, all you've given me is... Oh, Stefan. Oh! Yes, it's Stefan. Okay.
Like the...
That, I would have gotten that.
I had it confused.
You were like, something for everyone. I was like, who is that? It's Bill Hader. Yep. He is great, and also that's a great character. I want him to do an SNL skit about Off-Road Extreme. And, you know, sometimes you can describe things that you know will just never happen. Anyway, 30 bits from Item Crafting Live. Thinking about the game collection, how goes the Wii collection / is Wii still the game plan for Extra Life? We're in a really weird time.
Yeah.
So, like, is it still the game plan? I mean, yeah, but also we are aiming to do Extra Life at the end of October, a week before Halloween. Mm-hmm. So there's not a ton of time because there's no time. Because we can't like go out and get games. Like we wanted to make a big road trip down to Florida and stop at game stores all along the way and try and finish up some of the collection. And because we can't do that and we're not sure when we will, you know, it's not canceled, but we're kind of on bated breath. You know, that's basically where we're at. So as you know, I know people have mailed us Wii games, and obviously we haven't done mail, but we will be doing it soon. We appreciate that, partially because we have not had the opportunity to go out and do that. You guys could easily do Wii this year. There are too many games to choose. Yeah, I mean, like, that's another thing, is we could do Wii and just not have the full collection. That's a possibility. I think we're at, like, 800. We have, like, just about 800 Wii games. That means we're still missing 500. But there's a sizable amount. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if we get to the point where it's, like, you know, August or September and we're able to travel and we can go pick up some stuff, we might make so much progress and be like, okay, yeah, this is fine. But also, at some point, we could just be like, let's give it a year. Let's do one more GameCube. Because, as you guys know, there's still a lot of stuff we could play on GameCube. And I could play Odama again. Thomas could come to Extra Life and play Odama.
He said so on Saturday.
Thomas is the Odama world record holder.
There's some people trying to dethrone him.
Some people in our community.
Yeah.
Competition makes better world records.
Yes.
So it's fun. 500 bits from Sparks15. For real, though, I'd love to see you guys do skits and stuff, like an entire episode of Who's Line for a Coliseum segment. I would get too much enjoyment out of it. Well, it's, you know, it's a consideration. So I'm not going to tell you to, like, plan for it, because there's, you know, some other stuff that we have to figure out. But the idea behind it is solid, and I think that, you know, our group would like to do it. It's just a lot of it's like the technical stuff. One of the things that was a concern for me is that a lot of it requires prompts from the audience, and the best way to do that in the context of a charity stream is to get donations with prompts. But in many instances, those things need to be pre-screened for certain game types, so it gets really complicated really fast. So the idea is solid, but the execution is actually quite difficult. It'd probably be very specific games, because there's like 100+ different Who's Line improv games. We got a sub from
Mommy Mary Inca.
Mom Mary Inca. Welcome. 300 bits from Mr. Tin Robot. Hey, Stephen Amau, I've watched since 2012, so thank you for the years of entertainment. I'm seeing my better half next weekend for the first time since late February, so I just wanted to share the cheer. Awesome. Awesome. God, it's been many months.
Yeah.
It's been many, many months. I'm glad that you're getting a chance to do that. Seeing people's important. 300 bits from Danny X6. Steven, you're singing. You're all being very sweet. Me. Sing about dirty things. I have noticed a pattern. Thank you, Danny. 300 bits from Noah, who says, we may disagree on our egg preferences, but I'm glad we can agree on dark roast coffee. Fair. Cheer. I mean, this is like tea, but cheers. Cheers to that. And also, you know, I don't dislike firm. I don't necessarily love burnt eggs. But firm eggs are fine, and there's a very specific... You can actually, once you start getting a little brown on the eggs, that is, to me, that is a sandwich egg. It's a sandwich egg. You put it on a sandwich. Maybe a little bacon and cheese. That's a sandwich egg. But also, would I just put my creamy, not liquidy eggs on a sandwich? I would. It runs the gamut. It's all okay. Eggs are great. Kimikawa says, how many days since Egg Talk? It is and always will be 0. 0 days. Megan says, every day is egg day. It's true, and that's why we'll never get past 0 on that egg timer. Ha! Egg timer. That's a real thing. 300 bits from Phoenix Nova. Hello, grandparents. I forgot I had so many bits. I started hoarding them like those people who hoarded toilet paper. The only problem is, bits aren't that good for wiping. I mean, trying to imagine what a physical bit would be like, they make them look like gemstones, like crystals. Yeah. So, you know, don't wipe with crystals. There was way too long of a pause with no music there. Like, just...
Anyway.
Moving on. 500 bits from Kazuyumi. Steven playing Link to the Past. Hey, this reminds me of Ocarina of Time. I played Link to the Past before I played Ocarina of Time. I had Link to the Past as a kid. I just never beat it. It was something I liked, but at the time I played it, I was like... I think it was just a little too confusing for me, to be honest, for the age that I played it. And I also had it on... I had it on Game Boy Advance. Maybe I did beat it. No. I don't think... Well, I need to find my copy and load it up and see where my save file is. There's just so much that's unfamiliar, so... 300 bits from Mama Mary Inca, who says, thank you so much, Stephen Amau, for giving such a fun distraction during this crazy time we are all living through. You're welcome. Happy to help. 300 bits from Shishisama says, big honk energy today. I hope there's big honk energy every day. Because now I can show people I am a morning person in lime green. Oh, nice. Nice. I've seen a few photos of people that have ordered the shirt in colors other than yellow.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's really neat. You know, I obviously I associate the show very much with
Yellow.
With that yellow of Mario Maker. But I'm glad that folks can, you know, show off their personal style. Cool. Good choice. 30 bits from Item Crafting Live. Knowing you're fans of Tom Scott, have you watched him in the technical difficulties on Two of These People Are Lying? I'd be the one lying if I said I haven't imagined a Stephen and Friends / technical difficulties collab. No. I have not watched any of that. I've only watched the... What do you call it? His normal...
YouTube channel.
Yeah, his normal, like...
Things you didn't know.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. But I haven't
Amazing
watched...
Places.
Yeah.
I think is his other one.
I haven't watched any of that, or, is
his
that the
5 elevator videos.
I've watched his 5... What's the show... He also has a show on...
Nebula,
where it's like
Curiosity
a...
Stream.
Where it's like a game show... And I haven't watched that either, because I
And
don't
Sam
have
Denby's on that one, too.
Yeah, and yeah, there's a few people from that, like, little section of YouTube
Yeah.
of, like, hey, we're making little informative videos. I've always loved that stuff. I've always, like, I have a lot of things that I would love to do someday that I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to do, and I've made peace with that. But one of those things is the idea of creating that sort of informational content. Like, one of my favorite things that I've ever seen in my life was the Gonzo-style journalism video of Louis Theroux. I think Louis Theroux is great. I think the way that he does his stories is great. And how he inserts himself into the story as a character. I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
Will I ever get a chance to do that? I don't know. But I think that would be really great. Also, Rachel, I'm so glad. My heart goes out to you. 300 bits from Prince, who says, I better finish the F word. Caught me off guard because Fallout isn't a personal interest for me. It's not big on any shooters, and it took me a moment to catch what you meant. Truly in our hearts and souls, we must all finish the F word. Don't start an F word you can't finish. That's what I was thinking when I started Fallout, and that's why I'm going to be finishing soon. 20 months from Harold of Exius, who says, since Animal Crossing's wedding season event is about taking pictures, have you taken any particularly unusual one for it? I haven't done the event yet.
I did 2 days, and I did them just playing.
Wait, you do it every day?
Yeah. There's a new prompt. Other stuff to get.
What? Like, you just keep taking photos of the wedding? Like, how many times did they get married?
Well, like,
We've decided to renew our vows, but didn't you get married yesterday?
The first time I went, it was like, oh, you know, make like a church ceremony. And the second day was like, make a reception photo.
Okay. Neat. They get married. They get married a lot. It's just kind of, you know, everyone's got a thing. It's their thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just haven't had time to do it. I've opened up Animal Crossing every day since the game came out. But sometimes it's literally opening up and it's, okay, what's in the store? What's in the clothing store? And close the game. Like, sometimes that's it. Sometimes I get a chance to spend a little more time on it, but sometimes it's like very much bare minimum, depending on how busy I am with other things. But I'm looking forward to it because, yeah, taking pictures, that's like my thing in the game. I love that. And I've continued to take photos. I have so many more to post, and I just haven't.
I have a set of 4 I need to post.
Yeah. And Brandon says, are you still doing turnips? Nope. Nope.
I wish I would have done them this week because I'm starting to get low on bells, but...
See, I made my fortune.
Wake up.
I made my fortune, and I'm like, I think I don't have to deal with this now. So. And also, I know Tom Fox has like 100 million plus. I feel like if I was like, Tom, I really need to borrow like 5 million. And by borrow, I mean, can you just give it to me? I have no intention to pay you back. I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he would. So, I think I'll be okay. At some point...
Is he still doing turnips? I don't think so.
No, he's not still doing them.
Yeah.
He made over 100 million now. He's just sitting on it. At some point, I may do more turnips.
United Bank of Tom.
Oh my god, he needs... You can't make buildings in the game. He needs to make an outside Bank of Tom. Like with simple panels and other things. Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Bank of Tom.
Hi, Kepi.
And it's got a little back office, but it's all outside. That's what he needs. Anyway, 300 bits from Andrew in the kitchen. So, Steven, what you're saying is you went all out to finish the F word. Andrew, that's very clever. I did. I can't wait to finish the word of F. All out is the only way I know how to do it. I tried to make that fit, and then, yeah, it works. It's not the greatest way I've ever done it.
Kepi.
He's been just a good little stinker this morning, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's tired.
He is tired. You have a rough night, bud?
Did you not sleep?
You not sleep? You up all night partying? Maybe. Things to announce. I'll have more vlogs out today unless something goes awry. But I suspect things will come out just fine. Mal is... You don't have anything... I'll just wait, because you don't have anything
I don't have anything.
Yet.
No.
Stephen plays at noon. It's still Smash? What is it? Oh, Wii Fit Trainer. Oh yeah, that one was surprising. You remember Wii Fit Trainer?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, especially after Villager. Wii Fit Trainer was genuinely surprising. I was like, okay. So enjoy that. Oh yeah, praise the sun. Man, remember that you said that when you watch it. I guess that's it. Tomorrow night, obviously. Thursday asks, is there a new date for Disc Only? Oh yeah, yeah, I apologize for that on Tuesday. We had not discussed changing the date at the time Breakfast Stream happened, so I was just going off of previous information. So I apologize for getting people hyped up to watch and listen that night, and then suddenly being like, and we're not doing it. The new date is July 7th, because our hope for the schedule to keep is first Tuesday of the month. So we're just moving it to the next month, so it'll be July 7th. And, like, on the one hand, I know that that's a wait, but also, you know, if you delay something, people only remember the delay until the thing happens. Case in point, Fallout. When it's all said and done, it'll just exist as its own thing. People only remember the delay while the delay is happening, and once it's out, it'll be out. And then tomorrow night, Super Mario RPG, we literally start at the clouds.
Yeah.
We will finish the clouds. We'll do it. We'll finish the clouds. Okay? I'm just excited. It's a part of the game that I always really liked. The music is really good.
Yes.
It's just really good. The music in that game is S tier. All throughout.
It's good.
I have a lot of opinions about the music. Anyway, 300 bits from Nixelpad says, praise the sun. 500 bits from Mr. Gameboy who says, I would ride Dan. Steven 2020. Be careful about quoting your wife. You have worse quotes. Sometimes, you know, words come out of my mouth, but words never entered my head. And that's really where the problem lies.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I hope all of you have a wonderful Thursday. We are going to be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. As I mentioned earlier, patrons, if you haven't already, there is a Patreon video out. I'm looking for some feedback on some things in that, so check it out when you get a chance. I'm curious about your thoughts. And to everyone else, we will see you tomorrow night. Did I say 9? I meant 8. I know when my show starts. It's too early. 8 p.m. Eastern. For a game stream.